Kaspersky, King of the Hill Arena, and I do have to change the score actually, so take away the intros, Dirk.
Alright, so spawning on Newkirk Precinct is gonna be playing for alternate attacks. Socke in the bottom left, and in the bottom right is going to be his opponent from Mouse Sports. It's the Red Terran HeRoMaRinE. So, Newkirk
Before you
Precinct.
ask, I hate Newkirk. Because I know you're going to be
Okay.
like, how do you feel about this matchup? And I'm going to tell you, go to hell.
Yeah.
Because this split map...
Why?
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing about this. The best thing a Terran player has going for them, and even to some extent Protoss players, is the advantage of getting around your opponent's army and doing hits. Whether it's a warpment
Yeah.
of Zealots with Pylon or whether it's a drop of the medevac, this map, just by having half of it choked off and the other half completely sky, it ruins that dynamic for both players, I feel.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, because as a Terran player, I do feel you need to be very careful of where to fight, so you don't get like stuck in a choke and you get force fielded out and all that awesome Protoss stuff. Um, but yeah, it kind of depends a bit of your playstyle. I think this map isn't in favor of bio as much as it is, for example, for mech. On the other hand, I think mech on this map is going to be strong, and if
Well,
you saw HeRoMaRiNE's last game, perhaps it's something he perhaps wants to do again with the tanks and the helmets and the reactor marines.
Well, I mean, even looking at the layout of the map, I mean, just the way the base, the natural here, the third here, the fourth up here, fifth, sixth, whatever. This is such a map that, like, encourages split map production. And the last time we saw this was in Tomb Valley between these two players, game 2. And when it goes to that split map scenario, HeRoMaRiNE had a huge leg up, I feel, compared to Socke. So, I don't know, if it gets to that late game scenario and HeRoMaRiNE sticks to his guns, so to speak, you know, Ghost, Medevacs, Marines, freaking Vikings, I think he'll be okay. Socke, I feel it's going to be up to him to, in my eyes, abuse the sky hallway. Like, we haven't seen him go for any air units. He's been sticking to the ground tech, and that's fine. It's not a bad choice. But I feel if there's one map you're going to be able to use Phoenixes very effectively, or even Oracles, this is one of them. Because again, you're going to then, if you've got Phoenixes on the field, you police that sky highway. You can do a lot of harass in the mineral lines with them, of course. And, you know, it's not a big dedication of resources to have just 4 on the field.
That's true, but yeah, this map does encourage air as well. It's kind of a bit of a meta game, if maybe you can call it like that. Like, because it encourages air, it's perhaps smart to like not do it because it's so expected.
One thing I'm going to point out here, people in chat are discussing the Kesper version of this map. Yes, 100% agree. It fixes a lot of the problems with this map by putting that little bridge in the center of the map. It makes it a lot less headachy being forced to only fight in one location every single time.
Yeah, I like the Kasper version from this map a lot. I think I said this like a long time ago as well, that sometimes like the maps you see in Kasper League or GSL, some of them should just be on the ladder, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, Blizzard is Blizzard, and they're only gonna put their maps up and all that good stuff. I mean, the map making contests are one thing, but then they kind of claim the maps afterwards, and oh, the bunker actually gets cancelled with the SUV being picked off. Suddenly, HeRoMaRiNE's got to kite this out, which is absolutely possible. 3 Marines have no problem dealing with the Zealot, but canceling that bunker.
It's going to go and keep the pressure up with the Zealot plus the Stalker, with the Mothership going to harass the mineral line in the main, and I think that's some nice trickery.
Actually, I like that a lot because we have the Marines actually coming down here. 2 Marines, though, not enough to deal with the Mothership core, and the bunker just being run around entirely. Socke with a very annoying poke here.
Yeah, very nice pressure.
You know, that Mothership core is going to fall. Will it drop a time warp before it does?
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. I do feel...
Oh, going to try and recall, just barely. But the Zealot and the Marine forcing a pull of SCVs already ahead of HeRoMaRiNE. And while this is costing...
the Stalker, though. Let's have a go.
He didn't pick
up
too many.
Was it worth it, you think? He killed 3 workers, a couple of Marines?
I think it would be worth it if this command center wasn't already in orbital. If this was just getting created or like in the process of morphing in, I think it would have been a little more cost effective for him.
Yeah.
But HeRoMaRiNE, already having that up very early, didn't really care about losing a couple small units.
That's 150 gas like he spent.
Oh, Dirk. I love this bunker. I mean, it's gonna be dealt with quite easily here, but we got the push of Marines coming across the field, and if Socke, for whatever reasons, decides to let this complete, no, here comes the Mothership core.
No, the Mothership core will shut it down, but Socke did delay its warp gate quite a lot to apply this pressure.
Oh, is that not even researching or complete?
Yeah, no, it's not
complete.
He went for Mothership core first together with the Zealot, and then the Stalker right after, and then warp gate. So cutting some corners to apply pressure, which I think is fair enough. but what will these Marines be able to do? They can take at the mothership core to win
I feel
all
they
these
could pick off
games.
quite a few workers, as there's not a lot
Yeah.
on the field. I mean, the sentry will prevent them from getting into the main. He can just warp, force field that ramp all day. But HeRoMaRinE, oh, he's just got to go for the workers. He
Oh, wow.
got so many here. I mean, probes are very quick, sure, but these Marines have got a lot of damage associated with them.
Oh, but now Socke has enough to deal with this.
Nice force field, very nice force field.
Yeah.
Oh, HeRoMaRinE, pick up that last probe. 4 health remaining. Instead, going to go for that
Sorry,
sentry.
HeRoMaRinE, but that was Hero Probe.
And 4 health remaining on the sentry as well. Not the best out of HeRoMaRinE, but I gotta say, that's not because he did that badly.
Oh.
Socke with that beautiful force field.
Hold on a moment, man.
Oh, can he finish it? No.
Look at the War Prism.
Oh man, Zealot's getting warped in here. This is what I'm talking about. Abuse the Sky Highway, getting your drops in.
And
Just
it's
actually.
before Steam.
Oh,
Does
this is
HeRoMaRinE have anything here?
this is
He
such
has
a bad
7
timing.
Marines.
Everything's being added on. We got tech labs, reactors coming left and right. There's actually very little production going on. This warping could be huge, coupled with the attack at the front. HeRoMaRinE with the bunker should be able to hold off for a little bit, but how's he going to respond to the main? Oh man, the sentry's going to, of course, force field off that ramp, and all the Marines at the bottom will not be able to come back up to the natural or to the main.
And he's gonna elevate it up. I like this. Oh, but one Zealot went. He gave it a bit away.
Ooh,
but-
I don't actually him not splitting his forces like this. I don't like. But the Marines are mostly in the main. Barracks being lifted, SCVs being pulled, force fields going
Oh,
down.
that force field. Whoa. That was
Beautifully.
so well done there.
Beautifully done, yeah, but the Marines are choked off behind the SCVs, now going to deal with the Zealots. Coming up from the natural as the force field is whiffed a little bit there at the top of the ramp. And HeRoMaRinE should be able to clean this up, but he's losing so much in order to do so. 31 workers killed and rising.
Yeah, but if he can hold this off, he still has a chance to come back into this because
I don't know.
It's quite hard to this attack.
He is committing very hard to this. Warp Prism is taking out the last second, canceling that
Oh,
warp
but-
in. And this will
Yeah,
be cleaned
but-
up, but all the workers have been picked up. 9 SCVs remain at this point. Mules are cool, but they're not enough. HeRoMaRinE may have just lost the game here, folks. That was quite devastating.
Yeah, and I feel the only way like HeRoMaRinE has like a minor chance to come back into this is through drop, perhaps.
He has to get some sort of harass off. He has to cause some sort of damage, but
Yeah.
he's not able to. He doesn't have the resources. Look at this. He's got to spend all those precious resources on SCVs right now. Factory
and
going off to
that's gonna
scout.
hurt. So that attack from Socke was very well executed.
That could have gone better. I thought for a second, like, you know, why not split his forces? But by having them all in the main like that, it just caused such a big cluster. And I gotta say, I think the #1 MVP of that entire fight were those 2 force fields between the starport and the barracks, man. Beautifully executed.
Those were absolutely awesome.
Alright, well now HeRoMaRinE recognizes he's got to be offensive with this, and does suck in. I mean, he's got to know, like, alright, I just did so much damage to my opponent. He's got to be
He
coming
has
at
to
me with
expect
something.
The
Yeah.
army is positioned well. He doesn't have vision until Naga, necessarily, but we'll see what this drop can do.
Ooh, unloading at the natural. Gonna just walk right in. Come through the front door. Combat shields is not done yet, guys. This is quite big. Stim gonna come
can
in.
He needs a lot of workers now.
He has to kill all of these workers and the Nexus really to make this worth it. Big push here. The medevacs are being targeted down. This will limit HeRoMaRinE's escape.
Oh, the medevac escapes.
Although,
look.
just barely.
5 workers. 5 against 45 for Socke. I don't think it's enough, but don't count him out just yet. It's a fairly big supply difference. He's behind economically, but I don't
Well,
know if Socke
the
just
good-
leaves him be.
The really good thing for HeRoMaRinE right now is the only thing he's really truly lacking at the moment is his Vespine income. A lot of that's due to the fact that he's got to have these mules and SCVs on minerals. Only 2 gases mining at the moment. But as we see in the income tab, guys, the mules do help. They're pretty cool. You can be down apparently by so many workers, and as the Terran player myself, I have to admit, it's a little abusive, but it will keep HeRoMaRinE in this game. So will these drops. But he can't get caught. There's actually quite a few locations here where he could drop and be kind of cut off.
He's slightly out of range, so he might pick up a couple of workers and just get out.
Oh no, but here comes the Colossus. Overcharge going down on the medevac. And right here, look at the space between the gateways. If he dropped there, he could pick off that Templar Archives, no problem. But of course, it would make him very susceptible to the Colossus, so it's gotta be like...
the photon overcharge reaches until there as well, I think, just.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Socke now putting
HeRoMaRinE-
stalkers in the mineral line, adding cannons.
But here's that catch I was talking about. By not having the gas he needs, his Viking production, yes, he's got it going now, but it's so delayed. And he's seen that there are Colossus on the field for quite some time now. And HeRoMaRinE, I feel like... maybe a third CC in base. This is like that one game he didn't do it, and it really would have benefited him more than any other game here today.
Yeah, definitely. But he's ahead on supply though. It doesn't say much because
Well,
he
it's
can't
mostly
really
Marines.
deal that efficiently with the 3 Colossus, and he only has 2 Medivacs, and
Yeah, but
yeah,
being
that's
ahead
gonna
with
be an issue.
Marines when your opponent has Colossus is like being ahead with Zerglings. It's like, okay, cool.
Nice one, man.
Well, I mean, like they're just units that get shredded by the Colossus, right? I mean, it's definitely nice he's got a
but
supply lead, but
I don't know actually. Socke doesn't have that much stalkers.
alternatively, there's also not that many Vikings. You think
Yeah, okay.
if you take a defensive fight,
I thought I had 6 or 7.
well, let's
Sorry,
not
I'm
forget
totally
too, Guardian
misjudged that.
Shield is going to be huge for this upcoming fight. Not just for the Marines, but of course for the Colossus. As Guardian Shield does help protect against air attacks.
Yeah, and he has to attack up that ramp, and that's always dangerous over there. And
I love the patrol down here as well. I mean, Socke is ready for a drop, thinking that it's going to come. But with 4, was this 4 Colossus? Yeah. Thermal Lance. I mean, he is just looking so good to deal with this bio army.
oh, but the fortunes are a bit late, but does it matter?
Well, Socke going to push, leaving one of his Colossus behind, sadly. Not that it looks like he really needs it, as he's very, very dealing well
Hold
with
on a
these.
minute.
Well, I mean, like, he's cleaning up these 2 Colossus, but the push is over here.
Yeah. Well, he gets the last Colossus, so
It's a good trade, but not enough.
it was an okay trade, yeah, but it didn't have the economy to back it up, so unfortunately for him. Well, actually,
Sure.
do you really think he was out?
Yes. It got to that point where if you've dumped your entire army, right? And I mean, like, this wasn't him being able to remax behind it, because as a Terran player, your biggest thing that you rely on is that second wave. There was no second wave, right? Like, HeRoMaRinE, he did a great job. He cleaned up all but one of the Colossus, but none of the other ground forces fell. So he wouldn't have, with what he had coming, the damage early on, man, that drop, that warp in just tore him to bits. And recovering from that's not easy.